Hang on. Yeah. Hey, the troll. Been meaning to do more DCG streams. Just about getting. Up, James. Gambo's list. I just picked it up so I can start. Because I kind of wanted to just hop on, play some games, and just sort of talk about the other like broader topics I've been thinking about. I want to set up awesome, but I don't know what I want to. Pegasmon. I get rid of Pegasmon. I want to have a target for. Just put Cylon. I don't play the deck much. I'm gonna definitely not play it super well. But yeah, big thing that's on my mind. Juno Hysteric was revealed. That card is crazy. Like, I can't believe they printed a card like that. That's the card is reads nuts to me. I think a big thing about it is that like they gave Rush Execute to a card that goes that theoretically goes into Angels, which is currently a OTK list, which I think is a crazy. Like maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe it's not that easy to get Junomon in the trash for the assembly, but it feels crazy that they gave like a new way, like another tool that enables this OCTK deck to find like lethal lines, right? What do we? This one. Oh, I could have evolved into Pegasus first to set up the trash, set up the security, but I don't even have a target for interaction. Does this let you place? or Iliad. So you could theoretically, if you want to get Juno and Trash for Hysteric, use Pegasus to put Juno there, and then trash it off of like on Angemon or whatever. Oh, geez, you can use Shackle on too. Yeah, it's gonna be very easy to set up Juno in the trash for the thing. I think. I think we go Blimpmon here. Okay, Marinaja. Grab another place from hand. Yeah. Goes to show just how little I've been playing. I had like another Angemon to place. I think things would make more. There's an Angemon. I don't have them. This or I swing. Here's a wait. Zenitsu's also playing Angels. That's crazy. Is he streaming right now, or when was he streaming? I'm not like legitimately thinking of like making this my main deck or anything like that. I'm just sort of like trying it out in prep for I don't know, not in prep, but like because Hysteric was announced, I kind of just want to like think about the deck a little bit. I'm mostly just showing off just how little I know about playing this deck. for security. Obviously, the fact that if I kept turn order one anyway, but like I'm just thinking about these moments where it's just like, yeah, I'm at put him to 0. I don't have like hysteric is like another just like slam swing, right? You got off DCGO a while ago. I see. So the moment he ended stream, I started mine. Not moment, but like same day. Also happy I died by day to everyone. It's August 1st. Yeah, this is scary because this is like the worst position to be in as an Angels player. Is that where you just barely are short of killing your opponent, and then you put yourself to 3 security to go like, yeah, well, go ahead, kill me. What can I do about it? Another thing that makes Juno Hysteric kind of a crazy card is that like, at least it gives you something, right? In these scenarios. But Angels already is like a pretty strong deck, and it's getting Hysteric on top of that is nuts. Giving them like we've seen a couple of lists before running Venusmon as like a way to end their turn in like a defensive manner. Um, and now you can play something that does something similar that's actually in archetype, right? But yeah, thinking about it, it should not be that hard to get the Juno in trash for the assembly mid combo because you have a lot of opportunities to like use like Anjamon effect or Anjamon effect, I think, and put it in security for you to trash it later. Place an Angel Archangel or Alien Trick. You can also, yeah, you can also put it in there with Shaco. So you can do something like DNA into Shaco, trash their security, swing, and then sling. I'm thinking like, what do I play off of Junomon here? I can't think of anything significant. Hey, Michael. I haven't played Angels in forever. I wanted to play it a little bit. Shaco just so I can put a card on top of my. I mean, not on top of the deck, on top of my security. Basically, a recover one. Yeah, I don't know what you do from here. I think swinging in was probably a mistake. I mean, it depends on what his hand was, but it feels like when I watched K-Fizz play the deck, play Mallow earlier, he was doing a lot of like slam Myotis, deleting Demi Devi, and then comboing off from there. And certainly surely that was probably the play over swinging the Demi Devi, right? Did I talk about the new level 7 Juno? We're basically in mid talks of it. But I don't know what else to say other than that card is insane. I can't believe they gave that card to Angels. You know, Angels was already a deck that's doing pretty well, and now it's like I think the big thing is that like Angels is like a very OTK heavy deck, right? And yet for some reason they gave that deck another way to deal damage by giving them a rush execute that they can slam. So like if you like put them to 0 and need one more swing, put them to 0 security and you just need one more swing, you can just slam the Juno hysteric and then swing for game, which is like, and with the way that this deck plays, I think that's kind of huge, right? Uh, yeah. You just didn't have it on turn 2. You'll just sort of plays the game on turn 2 and didn't have a response. He should be looping, but doesn't have something. That's what I'm assuming. That's like one thing about like the whole like speed conversation of the game is that like a lot of decks can play on turn 2, but you also like need to have the hand to do it, and so it creates this bit of disparity between when you do have a good hand and when you don't. It just makes your having a good opener that much more important right now because you're gonna need to be able to like to go off ASAP. I think in this position, the training and search. Kind of down to just boost here. Again, I don't play this deck much, so I'm gonna not play it to the best of my ability, I guess. At this point, expect me to fuck up a lot. I'm just clicking buttons and vibing. I just kind of wanted to chill with y'all and talk about the new cards, especially Juno. There's a lot to say. I don't know where to start when it comes to the new Juno. Obviously, I'm already talking nonstop about the fact that I feel like I can stay in the back and then play the search. Can't tell whether or not I can kill from this position. It feels like I probably should be able to because I have so many 4s plus like 2 Shakos plus all of this. Fuck it. On. On. Right on top. That when I hit, I play another card. The card we play here. On. Search for another Shako, maybe. Anjamon so that when we DNA, we put it into security so that we can it again. Barrier. Do I have to? Okay, so that was the wrong one. What? Did you do that wrong? I think I did. There we go. That's how I'm supposed to do it. Discard. Top. No triggers. That's DNA. certainly must at one security. Oh, uh, right. Cool. That gets me kind of nowhere. Oh, whatever. Second most expensive hybrid for game. But the cost doesn't matter because it's execute, right? Oh, Lamau. Ascension plays around the memory +1. That's funny. What the fuck is my opponent playing? Other one. Fine. Goodness. Guess you can alter. And is looking. Guess I can on my next ray trash the Anjumane Ascension, which can potentially get me. Does set up Mighty Crush for him. Will I? That's a crazy top deck. Yeah. Yeah, look at it this way. This wins me the game here, but like again, Juno Hysteric is kind of a better version of this because it doesn't need me to be having this much memory for it to work out. Does he have like a trap here? Don't think so. Nothing really stops playing by not effect. Pick W. These feels like games like I should not be winning, but because this is DCGO, right? Because it's DCGO, we're playing against players that are playing the, you know, stuff like Levia as intended with all like the purple aquatics. Dan. Hello, Dan. Do I snipe the pattern to find another three? I think that's probably the play here. Damn. At least we get 2 cards. You got from me. Ranger's really good. Helps a lot already, but it does feel pretty one note at times. Um, but it's crazy that Juno gives them so much more game in a lot of ways. Poor guy. Please. We face a real deck, please. Real deck. Is that possible? And not this like Leviathan nonsense that's not running the good engine. That looks like a real hand. Let's got some images. Actually, no, we're fine because we got Salamon barrier, so we can go Salamon, evolve into Pegasus, Pegasus stuck, take an Anjumon, then trash the. So, I guess back to the topic at hand of Hysteric. I can't believe they printed that card, and then with Angels being the way the deck is right now, right, being a super like turn to OTK heavy thing. I think if they're gonna print Hysteric, I think they're almost certainly going to do something about Nyaromon, because this is the deck that really. This is probably like the card that like maybe single handedly enables OTKs the hardest. Um, strategy. Like if they want Juno to be like this, you know, oh, I didn't realize I just covered up half the screen with this on board. If they want the deck to be more controlly, which I feel like with some of the designs, that is the intent potentially. Um, and yeah, Nyaro's got to go, especially if they added print Hysteric. Take the balloon. But the card is really cool in general. I think Fresh Execute is a really strong combination, and it's also just a generic TS. I can see a bunch of like the TS decks just running this as like a way to like floodgate, not floodgate, but like give just the on deletion effect every turn. Not every turn, but like on some turns. I can already picture myself running this card um in Bielstar, right? Urge instead of bear. I don't know if that's all for one. Crazy here. Bro, Marukimon is insane. That's funny. Yep. Yup, Angels. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where to start with talking about Juno. I think it's because I'm trying to split my attention between playing the game and actually talking about the card. Which is difficult. Like I said, it's crazy in Angels, and I feel like it's like number one indicator that we really need to do something about the deck, especially Nyaro. I think they can't. I can't. I don't think they should allow cards to coexist in the state that they are in. These are important. Maybe since I have Juno's unboarded, maybe the Angemon was correct. I think Juno in general is like just a strong card. Probably is. It will most likely see play like just a generic card. I don't even know what I'm doing, and yet I'm just clicking the buttons, and it's happening. Let's play something else. uh, what else do I have? Play some TB. That is, I think, maybe one thing that's nice about seeing Juno Hysteric be revealed. You can on deletion give all opponents Digimon Sec -1. Um, Pretty nice actually. Really strong effect. I think there's a lot of decks right now in the meta that can beat that. You just give yourself immunity, right? So something like Galactic doesn't care, right? They can still kill you through that, as long as I have the unsuspend. Same with like Glowing Dawn. Arthritis just goes, well, yeah, no, yeah. Arthritis just goes like I'm immune, and then they finish you off with what was it? Final Judgment, giving them Sec Plus on their final body that swings per game. But a deck that doesn't have that kind of immunity is TB, right? So we're saying, I think we had a conversation earlier where we kind of understand that TB has like a somewhat positive matchup going into TB somewhat of a positive matchup into BL and I think Juno's a really good tool for BL to have for that matchup because it gives them that ability to go like forward wide sec minus, which means they can't die to Susan, right? Susan can trash their last security, but it can't swing for game with the sec minus on them. Those. Also, we've seen before, you know, what's the word? We've already seen the All-Star players tech in what was it, Tidusco Baluki as a way to give rush execute for lethal lines. This is just basically a better card for that, I think. Because it's still rush execute, but the other effects that are on top of that, I think, do more, especially in terms of like having a defensive play, like a line that lets you do something for the opponent's turn. Because outside of like attempting to clear board, the Kaidescabaluki doesn't really do anything extra for you. Like, yeah, you can spit out a bunch of extra guys. Like, um, you can spit out Lady Devi. But if you're ending your turn on that, that doesn't really do anything for you. As opposed to what Hysteric gives you, which gives you that extra like defense factor. If I had maybe Honey, because that would cycle me. Ooh, that's a good reason for me to not have moved up. But considering he didn't move up himself, he had nothing in the back. Thinking I'd be okay with like, yeah, he's kind of bricked up, so I'm kind of fine with taking this route of like being able to take a second step right away. Evolved in- Ooh, I wonder if maybe this is like a version of the deck that has no bottom end. Because he just wants to slam. Yeah, I think Juno Hysteric in BSR is gonna go crazy because you can use Asuna, just use it from the trash turn after turn. If putting them in an infinite sec -1 loop um stalls out the game. It seems crazy to me, right? Like it sounds like it'd be really good in like the matchups against like Jupiter or TB. These decks that don't have a lot of like sec plus ways to get sec plus to sort of like win the game through it. And I have no fives is the problem. Should have played. They should have played the Kurdistan. Opponent bricked. Thing to go. Obviously, these games make these decks, the decks I'm playing, look strong, but it feels like at the same time I'm having a bunch of non. Or these feel like like have been a bunch of non games, right? My opponents have either been playing off meta or jank or bricking. I mean, This hand looks more awkward than more. They really want to. You're using Field Spell to play Wanko feels so good, but he's also my only rookie right now. Ooh, Rocks. Rocks is something that can actually like do something to deal with Susan, or at least not die to Susan. Not like not get killed, I guess. This matchup, then out. Better. Because like Amaterasu attempt to delete unless you bottom deck specifically the sources that get trashed, you're still gonna get hit by the fragment Digimon nonsense. Even if you DP minus them. Come on, guys. Hysteric is crazy. Are there anything else new that we can talk about in the reveals? We got Pumpkinmon, but Pumpkinmon's just kind of like, alright, I guess. He seems like a good card, but I don't know where his home would be, is the thing. You have an Iliad Execute Ascension. That's a really good, like, that's like some really good stuff, but he's like a level 5. It's like, in Angels, I don't know, you'd actually run him over, definitely not over Shaco, and it would feel weird to run him over Magna Ange too. So it's like, I don't know, what do you do with him? I do like his effects, right? I like being able to give anything Execute Ascension. Seems kind of neat. He has a security effect, but like, I don't know what you're supposed to do with that other than like, especially in this current meta where there's so many so much security trashing. I feel like you're gonna like, I don't know, kind of whiff it, I guess. For one. Are hoping to dig here for a 5. Especially if we can find, damn. Sure. We'll still go for it. Draw? 5? Damn. I gambled and I lost. It is what it is. Yeah, 4 names. Go up to 6 with these two. If he plays aggressive and attacks into my security, maybe I can end up with enough for Susan to be playable. I want some matches? I'm down, yeah. Sorry if you messenger that earlier. I didn't get to see it yet. But yeah, I'm down to play some matches. I'll finish this one that I'm in, and then I'll hop in a room if that's all right. I'm curious to see how this one goes because I don't know what I'm up against. I haven't seen people play Dukemon in or Gallantmon in like forever. I don't know if I'm gonna get like OTK'd or something from this position. Oh, you don't even have your PC on? Yeah, perfect. I know there's like a version of the deck that was focused a lot on warping into um the 81 Gallant with like I think it was this staccato, right? Off by was this? I feel like you'd run the one that gives us two, right? Normally would immediately get to attack. Could be it. I don't see a repeat name anywhere here. So it's just get blasted, idiots. I guess that's like a good thing, right? He gets to have his staccato back. I do this to him. Maybe that's a decent reason to be running. And like maybe in this format, when Susan is everywhere, this might be the better Wargrel to go for. Stunning these staccatos don't actually even do anything either, too, which is kind of neat. Maybe it's like one of those decks that it's like, yeah, this deck isn't been super meta relevant, but like it's might be surprisingly good into this really popular matchup. Ooh, imagine if there was like an on deletion like Guilmon that they're running. There is one that has a on deletion. Maybe they run. You could potentially think of running that one. So it's always Wankomon. Who are we kidding ourselves with? It's always Wankomon. We have Shishima and Marine Bolt. Okay, yeah, this is a scary part because now Trash is full enough that he can just slam this Guilmon for a rush. I wonder if you even need it considering the Tocado effect, right? Or Tocado end of your turn, the Gallant you go into already has rush. I guess there are still like applications here. Like you can, do your thing with this guy, swing, 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 and then afterwards you can like play another Guilmon and have rush with that body as well. This is the Wargrel I was expecting. Yeah. Because if he lived that check, he could have gotten game 2 Mary and then done some plays. But on deletion, yeah, he gets his play out of Guillemon. Guillemon. Yeah, he could have played out the rush one and got some more checks in, but he's probably going to turn this one into the recover one. Actually, yeah, that's a good one. I kind of pushed. I was threatening lethal if he didn't go into exactly this gallant. We can undo some of his trash setup. We can get this thing out of the trash so they can't reuse it now. Can we undo his ability to evolve? We only bottom deck 2 cards, right? So there's only well, if we get rid of those, then maybe oh, but if we delete this guy, they'll have 3. I don't think we can undo Might actually be a real game here. I think it's a little unfortunate that I haven't been able to find the opportunity to play any of my Sanmyojin or rivals. One of those things that, like, if I did have, what's his name? Kunlun, I couldn't come up. I can't believe I was so wrong, right? In Zan's pod, I was like thinking like, yeah, Kunlun looks crazy, but like, there's no way to free play him. Being completely and utterly unaware that Kaguya just says play cost 5 or lower Shambhala trait card, which means it can play out Kunlun, which is actually crazy. Like SW is already kind of struggling in a lot of ways, especially to keep up with TB. And that deck doesn't even have like a way to, like, we don't even have like a Kaguya equivalent that lets them cheat out Kunlun for them. Nuts. The only issue there is that like if you execute and then evolve into Kaguya, you sort of miss timing on the Kunlun activation because you're already at end of turn timing when you play him. That's about it. That's like the one downside there. But then you still have your Kunlun out. I just start. Oh, you moved out of the. I think I might get OTK'd here, huh? He didn't swing before doing this, so he didn't get the unsuspend or anything, right? Cool. Governor right board. I wonder if I could still be dead by like auto of turn swing up. Especially if he can trash my last security, because this is like my you know, the card I have that can potentially keep me alive for another turn. Play from hand or trash. Trash. Use it to play out a shell mon. My bottom deck is one of, and he's now like down to his last 5 cards of deck. He might actually reach it again. You don't know about Kunlun? I think you're just gonna stay with Analog Youth. That is fair, right? I think Analog Youth is a bit more synergistic with the way the deck plays. Kunlun does a lot though. Being able to like on every turn basically just play your arrivals for free and your field spells for free. Plus the extra memory it gets you every turn. It seems good to me. Again. Oh, gets to do that. Delete to gain Sec Plus. And then play out another Guilmon. Kind of fire. Yeah, I did that because like the game's over. Man, he's big. Never mind. Maybe I should have the body on board. I didn't realize he was going to be. Oh well, I didn't have the field spelling. This is all. I was not paying attention. Does this get me there? If I lose, I lose. That's on me for like not playing out something different with the effect. It being something that could swing for security to me. I completely forgot about the DP boosting on down X, making so it would have survived the DP minus. See what I can do from here. Oh yeah, he found the Guilmon. Yeah, but I'm like, it won't matter if you just dig through your own deck fast enough. Now that I think about it, Ryugu probably was the move over Kaguya. Let's say he deletes. I go. On play, put a guy underneath it. He attempts to delete, I evade and decode, and then get the stun. I'm not dead to X here, right? Because this is not the Rush Guilmon. Oh, am I dead? He just needs a Guilmon? At the bottom of it, there's one at the bottom of his deck? Yep. What? Why didn't he... Why didn't he evolve? Is he out of Gallants? That's insane. I was like thinking, oh, I'm dead, right? He slams Guilmon, uses this effect to end of turn evolve into another Gallant that swings for game. And all I can assume is that he just ran out of Gallants that he can warp into. One there, two. he really out? I'm pretty sure he had. No way, he's only running like 3, right? Is he just running only 3 Gallantmons and all of them are in the trash? Yeah, that must be it. Lamau. Alright. You still there, Pay the Troll? Room code is right here if you want to hop in so we can have some games. And I definitely feel like I had more things to just like yap about in terms of like some like topics revolving around the game. Um, but when it comes down to it, I just like can't get those ideas from my mind out of my mouth, right? There's like this whole topic I kind of room code can't be found. Are we on the same version of the game? I think that was an issue I had earlier when I tried to play with Nais. Um, was that we just weren't on the same version. I'm on 1.17.3, I believe. It can't be like a region. Can't be a region diff because they cut out all the alternate servers to save on cache. I believe I'm on 1.17.3. Hold on, I can exit to try again. Yeah, 1.17.3. I'll create a new room. Code is still here. Yeah. You got to update your version then. I'm on 0.3. That's definitely what happened there. I guess I haven't gotten a chance to talk about Pekmon and Chromon yet. Pekmon's kind of whatever, but at least he's better than the previous Pekmons we've gotten. Same in here as always. On deletion, opponent trashes a card. The blocker, there's another one that was a blocker and it did nothing else, so it's nice that this is a blocker and it has the on play to delete a level 4. There's also a 4 play cost, which seems kind of nice. You can jump on voice on Discord. I'm fine right now. I kind of just want to like get out my own ideas and thoughts, other than just like have a discussion or anything like that. Because there was like there's a topic I kind of wanted to talk about. I'm trying to like get back onto that train. But first, we talk about Chromon. This card is also feels like it's kind of nothing. Like it's so you can't update it. Oh, damn it! Yeah, we can't play it unless we're on the same version. So unless we clear that up, unless somebody else. Oh, oops, clicked on the button. Unless somebody else wants to join. You do speak your piece now. Otherwise, I'll go back to random battles. But after I want to get about Chromon first. This card is such a disappointment to me. I don't know. Maybe it's better than it looks, but like it has this whole your turn when your opponent's hand is trash from or affects trash cards from underneath Tamers. You can evolve into a Rave or Data Squad from the trash for the cost reduced by 1. Compared to like a lot of the previous level 5s in this archetype, the Data Squad level 5s, most of them give you a way bigger cost reduction, right? Obviously, most of them also use up more, have like a more heavier condition, right? You have like I believe Lilamon trashes 2 sources to evolve for free without paying the cost. And then there's Rise Greymon trashing 2 sources to use a card play cost 5 or lower without paying the cost. So this one's an easier thing to trigger, right? It's on Digivolve effect, already triggers the your turn effect. Jones makes me wonder why it's even two separate effects, right? Like, are you going to be in a scenario where you go into this and you don't trigger? I mean, I guess you can. What was it? Evolve into this. Don't have any face downs, so they don't trash. You don't bottom anything from entertainers, and you don't trash a card. And then you find some other way to trash from their hand to trigger this. I guess that's something you could do, but like, how would you even set that up? Because you don't really have a lot of ways to on demand make your opponent trash cards from their hand. The your turn effect, so it's not even like um you know, there's like not like yeah, it's not even your it's your turn only, so it's like you can't even use this like a trap effect. This done on deletion's okay, but it's basically the same on deletion as the egg, so it feels kind of redundant. Unless there's some like, I don't know, DNA shenanigans you can pull, right? Maybe that's like maybe the one good thing we can like talk about here is that you can do some sort of like this is kind of unfeasible, but I've definitely seen some jank decks that try to do this. They go into like Ravemon, have it self-delete, spit out bodies, and then like DNA into like Chimera, and then go into like another one or something to continue trashing their hand. With this Chromon being able to play a play cost for a lower plus the egg doing that, it makes it easier to set up for that sort of play. So I believe, do we already have another Chromon that plays out guys for you? And this is nothing new. Yeah, we do have a Chromon, the original BT13 Chromon that deletes outside of battle, play level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash. So you already can do that. You already can do that with a Chromon. This one just has the slight advantage of being able to also trash another card from hand and evolve into Raybon for one less. The other at least this is better than the old Chromons because the old Chromons they evolve into Ravemon when attacking and for no reduced cost at all. But like with the way that the rest of the game is, it feels like you kind of need more from the game, right? You kind of need more. You got it to work. Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking at the. Oh, yeah, I see you're in here. Cool, cool, cool. I believe that's you. That's you. That's in here. It doesn't tell you anymore. But yeah, like Ravon needs a lot of help, and these new cards are definitely like they are doing enough. I know East made a post saying like, "Whoa, this card just says trash a card from your opponent's hand." Like, wow, yeah. Like, what do you think that's scary? Move up and do things. Wait, I know what it do this. Pretty attack. Oh, and trash. Oh, catch so I can keep turn. Then play out. Have it delete itself. Get rid of your guy. Gasama. field spell as well. Now, what other new reels can we talk about? We got Sangomon, search for deep savers. Shanlumamon, another stun and draw for deep savers. I think that will probably, you know, help deep savers pop off, but it's nice for them to have. I mean, deep savers is one of those decks. Aquatics in general, like, are pretty close to being kind of playable. Ooh, stun my analog youth is pretty good. We're gonna see Mokuko effect maybe. First we go into that effect. Go Mokuko. Even trigger this to make into another 6 as well, potentially. Do I have an I gotta find something to go. It does have barrier, so it's not I'm not gonna be able to out it that easily. Oh, he didn't have the protection, I forgot. I was like thinking about like, yeah, I need to execute into him, but he has barrier, yada yada, and then it's like, oh wait, I don't actually need any of that. Playing out some bodies is gonna be bad. Yep. Yeah, hitting Kung on a period to clear is kind of scary because it does give him a bit more memory to work with to make another counterplay here. Well, because we cleared the board, there's no Mokoko to worry about at least. That's like the thing here. Measuremon is maybe like one of the better tools to like for this deck to even compete against TB, but like if there's nothing on board, you don't get the protection, is the unfortunate part for them. So you just have to like if you could just adjust your play style, if you have enough options or tamers that you can just sort of like use those instead of ever leaving a board up for them to work with, then it's like, oh, cool, I can still clear. And I feel like there's plenty of matchups out there that, the opponent can very easily do that as long as they, don't draw anything besides. And obviously, there's gonna be moments where it's like, oh, I didn't draw anything besides Digimon, so I can't do anything. Oh, that's cool that Senzo can just recover like that. Do you have any like blockers or anything that stops me from just killing you here? I just go swing, swing, Susan. Cool. Ah, this is why I don't play this deck. I think it's so simple. Not that that's like necessarily a bad thing, but like I don't know. It just like I kind of want to be able to have to think some more, even when I'm doing like kill turns, right? I have to like click through everything. Sorry, that click that. Oh, you clicked ready pretty quick. You ready for the next one already? Mulligan. Maybe I should switch to BL Star just so I have a different matchup. Because I definitely haven't I haven't seen too many people play SW. So I don't know how the matchup goes into some other decks that might actually get potentially cucked by some of the effects. Mm, I don't know if that's correct. Hello, Torment. Welcome to the stream. We're just chilling and playing and yapping. Monkey. This is awkward. Now I don't delete myself. Ah, whatever. Ooh, I can play this? Nah. I want to keep like basically all of these cards in my Yes, Sun Myojin because he gives me some colors. Up to one. Send these two away. No assembly for you. Sure, can't go. Tell me what you got. Akaba for one. Nice. Did I talk about Naruto yet? I definitely talked about quite a bit of it. Um, in I've talked about it in Zan's podcast, and I've talked about it when I was on Risu's stream back in Thursday. I don't have really too much to say about it. I think my thoughts can summed up to is it's it's interesting that it's very Yu-Gi-Oh like because it's very different from a lot of the other Bandai card games. And I kind of like that because it feels like I think there's been a lot of complaints that that they put out a lot of games, so it's nice that they put out a new game that plays very differently from the previous ones. I think there's like an audience for people who want to have like a game that's more like Yu-Gi-Oh esque, but like more reined in because the current Yu-Gi-Oh is like really complicated and very it's there's a lot going on in the current Yu-Gi-Oh game because of years of power creep. So it's cool that you want to play a game that's kind of like that, but more you know more reined in. But other than that, that's about it because I've never been a Naruto guy, so I'm not playing it. Right, I'm not interested in playing it because I'm not a Naruto guy. Right, I've never been a big Naruto guy. They showed off effects and arts for the cards. I think I've seen a couple of that. There's been like some effects that like delete and negate. You know, I'm not into Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm like vaguely into Yu-Gi-Oh. I like some Yu-Gi-Oh content creators, but I'm not. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh myself. I'm saying that for people who are interested in a Yu-Gi-Oh like game, but that's less insane compared to the current thing. It's nice that it exists, right? It's nice that Bandai has is trying to corner that market. I think it's a very smart move from them, like financially and like strategy wise. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Sorry, bro. That's just. Oh, I forgot to use that card. Oh well. That's just how it be. The name of the game. I would have thought he had a Sasuke wallpaper. No, I did not like Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. I mean, I liked it for a little bit, and then um, I think I very quickly fell off of it. If that makes sense. Now I can swing and not have to execute. That's really interesting. Let's do that. We'll PG and Pokemon were your main interests? Yeah. Oh, hello, Passion. Nice to see you all chilling. Nice to see you all hop into the stream, even for just a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna be a Digimon diehard just because I just really like Digimon, right? Good one. Immunity. I can raid into you. Oh, that's the awkward part. Is that a Yume? Okay, good. Ugh. This looks so sad. I can't believe I have raid inherit, so I can just raid into you. Ooh. I forgot that that triggers your effect. That's fine, though. Does that do anything for me? I play something out? Oh, whatever. This is... it doesn't matter. This is still lethal. Like... Like, bro... That's all this deck is. You just slam Susan, slam Susan. Yippee! You really hit Megemon? It seems... I don't know. It seems like such an okay card. It reads crazy at times, but at the same time, it's like... You can beat it. You saw me just sort of just ignore it for the most part and win. Immunity is scary, but like it only gains immunity conditionally. So if you know it's coming, you can depending on what your deck is, maybe you can potentially play around it. And there's so much more ways to like beat immunity in the game now than there has been before. It feels like because there's immunity is so prevalent, you already even before Nejimon came out, you already kind of had to be playing a deck that can kind of deal with immune stuff already. So it's like I think Nejimon is like totally fine. And it's nice that he exists to give SW something, right? Because it feels like the deck doesn't really. I think he's like the best thing to do in SW in general. So it's nice that they have something going for them. And you like Digimon, but you also affording to play stairs at Pal World. I'm glad I never got into the whole Pal World hype. Sucks that you know of all the things for Palmon, like people like accusing Palmon of like copying Pokemon, but of all things to copy from Pokemon, why they have to copy their scalpers? I don't think that's like a positive thing in the Pokemon TCG community, to be honest. You're not leaving, did you? Like the second game to play. There's plenty of stuff out there, yeah. Poke is too stagnant. Yu-Gi-Oh is Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I feel like there's probably other people who are in like that same mindset, and that's probably one of the reasons why Bandai keeps pushing out so many games. But I think it's kind of cool at the very least that Naruto plays so differently from everything else that they have. It's Kokeshi. For me, I could never get a second game. I thought for a minute there that Gundam was going to be my second game on top of Digimon, but turns out I don't actually have the time or money for a second card game. So, and if I'm going to only have one card game, it's going to be Digimon for me. I think a lot of people were expecting for it to be another because we had was it One Piece and then Gundam, not really necessarily back to back, but if you don't count Battle Spirits, basically back to back, and they feel so similar in both of them using, um, the like a mana esque resource system. It is kind of refreshing them for them to like go for something different for their next game after that. Because it feels like yes, it's really true that they have been like putting out too many games, right? They have Dragon two versions of Dragon Ball, Digi, One Piece, Battle Spirits, Gundam, and now Naruto. So it feels like they just keep printing out game after game. Um, so at the very least, having them play differently makes it feel like it makes more sense for them to exist alongside each other. And they should have another card game that only sits 2 sets a year so you can keep up on it, lol. Maybe that's what they ought to do with Battle Spirit Saga. Bring it back and make it a game that only releases sets like occasionally. Okay. So I definitely have to do something, right? But I can't. This is a deck filled with traps, and I have to figure out what the traps are here. When any of your Digimon are played, return the lowest level to the bottom of the deck. When any of your would leave, play out level 5 or lower. So from sources, I think you have guard here. I think the idea here is that you go. I attempt to remove, you guard, then trigger this effect to play out a guy, then bottom one of my guys. Can I beat that just by going Ami? Delete that. A bit more than Ami. This pseudo decode is like it's not like the worst thing in the world if I can also get rid of the Erlong. Let's just start by going into the Amaterasu here. Wait, Amaterasu is not a good idea here now that I think about it. Oh, right, this deletes lowest. I thought it was going to delete the token, but it's going to delete the Chohakai. Yeah, that's not enough. It was definitely almost certainly a better play, but I did not. I didn't want. I wasn't. I didn't want to think. I thought about the fact that it was going to do the Chohokai and the fact that I wasn't going to have enough colors. Speaking of, I thought it was going to be the bottom the. I don't know why it didn't give me the option to bottom the Chohokai. But I was still can't find Sue. I mean, I guess there's just sometimes gonna have games like that where you just can't find Susan and therefore can't win. GG. Oh yeah, Union Arena. I did forget about Union Arena. Probably the game I think about the least. Does that game also come out with sets like constantly? Because I feel like I hear about so little that like maybe that is their game that like they only bring out like 2 sets a year. Or maybe actually yeah, based on how it works, it's probably a game that is just shooting out sets for like different properties like all the time, like nonstop. No decode for me, but now I also have no board to interact with Nezha. They said it's xenophobic, yeah, because you can't mix and match animes. It I I don't know anything about UA, so I imagine um they put out a lot of sets because they got to keep, you know, for each different like franchise they keep supporting or implementing, I guess. And I don't know if that like really like makes the meta shift a lot or not, depending on like how much power creep there is with them doing that. Last I heard of it, it wasn't necessarily that much of an issue or anything like that. You can like take an older deck or an older anime that hasn't been supported in a while, and they still succeed. Fuck me up in any way. The only time you heard meta was a problem was when they simultaneously released releases simultaneously or when English was like year one and was in year three. Yeah, that does sound like it could have been it could be a problem. Play decks from around the same, so it's probably fine. Okay. No way. Yeah, I set my just oop. Definitely feel like these games have been feeling kind of samey at this point. I kind of get it, like, go into year 6 and stuff, you cycle, and then you just start using. Yeah, sometimes you get to put up a board that makes it more awkward for me to win, but like I don't know, it feels like every time I'm like just drop more Susans and it's an inevitability. I want to change things up a little, but I don't know what else. I don't have my the All-Star deck saved in here. I love that I try to play some of the newly announced stuff, to be honest. Possible. Like I'd love to play some of like with the Titans or with Millie with Giramon in it. Miss Lugamon, me too. And so, I'm not. Yeah, I so. Both out. I don't believe NSL has two AG. They're gonna have to deal with this. That's helpful. That's for sure. Those that on play draws things. That's pretty good with DGO. Is there a play line that goes here? Evolve for one into hide. That almost kills. I guess if you just evolve into Bolt Bout here, that'd be pretty neat. Did you evolve me and delete me that way? Slam my Otis, yikes. Like, I get it, right? This gets you Bolt Bout, right? This is another thing I think NSO needs: a better egg. We're getting so many strong eggs as of late. NSO is super behind in terms of what eggs they have.
Some of the best.
I forgot I'm playing that card.
Huh?
This. Ooh. Other. Okay. Let's see.
So there was loose a little bit.
I was really expecting, I think, uh, or Garuru to come off of that. You could play a little 5 or lower, right? From hand only, yeah, you would go use it probably mostly in the trash. Yeah, 3 of them in the trash. That could have been good, but I think I put you in a really awkward spot here because I made it so that like either you stun the level 7 and I can still swing with the Goblymon thanks to Dan and Yuki, or if you stun the Goblymon, the other one can still swing. I have like 2 ways to swing for game there. Whatever you get to play out is going to get deleted, so don't play anything out unless you want it to be deleted. Bro. Listen to Titans pass a lot of memory, do a lot of things. A very fair deck. Does have the scapegoat at least. Fuck that. Oh, oh, trigger that. But you need a hide one in the trash to DNA. Ah, I hate how bad N is so his man. So inconsistent just for not such a great payoff. Both out, still not Piedmon. Getting late enough that I might start getting my. Is that how we expected to have? Thing. Come Should have included Lugumon in AD01. That would be nice. They really need to do something with those guys. The Seeker's archetype that they printed in like was it BT20 is turbo ass, and it's so disappointing. I really hope that they one day do something. Do something to help Lugumon in some way, right? Just for the 5 of us who are Seekers fans. Your Titan deck has been doing well for you so far. I mean, it does stuff, but I still feel like Titans is like it's kind of whatever. Oh. The field I put out here is not super crazy. I think you have the access to the Digivolve with the yellow one, Hakutomon. So this Titamon should be pretty easy to deal with. But yeah, Titamon has some like really nice things. I do really like this Titamon in particular. Just what it does isn't like significantly beyond the current meta. I think it's a little too fair in some aspects. That's crazy. I think Hey the Troll, that swing was super risky because if you hit Asuna or Invasion of the Titans, well, no, you'd be fine if that happens. Actually, no, if he hits Invasion of the Titans out of my security and I play Fugamon to delete his guy and then Kaida deletes his other guy, yeah, there's a possibility you could have lost your Hakuba for doing that swing. Kaidamon practice all turns. There's a Digivolve. Oh, now you're Digivolve with the Skullgray. I have an on deletion now. Neat. SW. That's a guy that I don't have a this deck has no outs to. I think. Actually, I have the protection. I guess he has guard. If I play something out, I'd be forced to collision with it, which means I give them the protection effect. I can play out Witchmon, and then Witchmon can delete Ohakai, so I don't have to deal with it. But then I have to collision. If I had some Iron Slash, I know some variants of the deck do run Iron Slash. That's a nice one. Check that out. I thought I had Scobaluki. I thought I had it in the trash. I mean, this is still probably fine, right? Still cleared the board. I just had to pay 14 for it. You run two title slashes in one title stream. Hmm. Makes sense. I feel like there's kind of a lot of things that like kind of require option removal for you to deal with it. I feel like you'd been in a better position if he somehow did get the protection on his Nejima. Because I had a body on board. I mean, I guess it was suspended. Yeah, because of the fact that it was suspended. It wasn't oh. Yeah, lose to that. I have zero security. Uh, Doing fine so far, but the moment it looks like I'm gonna have issues, I might be in English then. For the one deck, fantastic. They needed Trubimon because the deck always needs some way to get some aggression in. And from what the way they were like printing cards, it was like you want Yeah, so when it comes to like the new Titan stuff, right? It's a very like new top end, right? It really wants you to be running the new Cerberusmon, the new Pluto, the new uh and Kabuteri Grank. But then it's like, how do you fit all of that with like the Titan Skilbaluki package? And it's like you can't. But I feel like you always really need like ways to get damage in with like Rush Execute. Because you can't just like play defensive all day. You gotta have some aggression. So I love that they introduced Cherubimon because then it allows you to like play with the new stuff and then still have that rush execute factor. I really like the combo with it with with Zombie Pluto where you can just sort of like slam it, give it rush execute, swing, it decodes out to Pluto, and now you have Pluto. I think Zombie Pluto is neat, but I don't know if you'll ever be able to actually use the alterns effect that trashes hand size down. Because like for one, I'm probably imagining myself mostly just executing with him with the Cherubimon. And two, it's like even if you do manage to like get a zombie Pluto on board, I feel like a lot of decks can play through only having 4 cards in hand. If they don't just like play around it entirely. Because I've like it triggers on like when Digimon are played or Digivolved, but like I've definitely had opponents lots of times when I was playing VB with Metal Garurumon, be able to play around my Metal Garurumon by just de-digivolving it, right? Like they evolve into what? Oh, they evolve Agemon. Agemon pick up security trigger um Inori effect go into Ajochu's blue and do all that without having to, you know, without having to trigger it. So I feel like the floodgate part is like very easy. Is this protection or not? Yeah, it's definitely a separate deck. Don't disagree with you there. It's definitely a separate deck, and a different, and that separate deck needed yikes. It needed the rush execute. I can't collision here because he's my guy. Looks like he's just. I don't know if he can win the game here right out, but like I'm in a position where it's gonna be difficult for me to. It's just part is pin again. I admit, I think I keep discarding the wrong card. A lot more memory than I. If he plays this is probably not good enough, but it's the best I can think of. I was gonna just swing my guy and then immediately trash the level 7 and then drop that for 6 instead of going up the whole line. But I kept accidentally trashing the wrong card. Got to go, keep going, playing B, playing B. At least I got to get an extra blocker thanks to Okay. Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, just gonna... It doesn't... Yeah. This is one of the nice advantages I hear about the new version of have more to play. It so on the sometimes you can just get bigger than how much they DP minus you if you have like dark area up plus the other card. The Tyrant Kabuteria also gives you some boost. Well, occasionally get big enough to probably rather. Also, no, things you have to do just to Oh, am I have it? I fell for the trick. I had to could have I did I went too fancy because I didn't think about the play that was gonna happen. Yeah, I had a way to play around. I just fell for his very obvious trap because I didn't read his card. I don't know. What can I say? I didn't respect it. But that probably will never change. The fact that that deck really needs that tamer to do anything. forward position. Literally anything else. Or you passing this much memory probably just means you get OTK'd. Probably wouldn't have mattered. Probably just gonna. But that would have been so funny if like Asuna. Are gonna have terrible Plutomon. Isn't Plutomon like when hands are trashed from, it deletes all levels? All lowest level? Yeah. Oh, calling to trigger your own. One of the things I think that NSO needs more if they want to be competitive is more like self deletion out methods. Which is why it's nice that they gave them Clarissa. I think that's a card that lets him self delete. Oh, did yeah, scapegoat is not except for by your own effect, I believe. So you can't. Yeah, you can still trigger that, so you can evolve into another Garu. Find me again. On my day. Yeah, you can't scapegoat on against your own self. Target a DNA target. Oh, he doesn't have decode. That's right.